Trista Polo.
And I'm Heather Lynn.
And this is
All That Ease. Show 40.
Show 40.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
4 is a great number.
It is.
I had an epiphany that 4 is my number. It's my universal
How did you find that?
number. It just, of course, universal messages. It just
great.
comes up. At least it was. I want to watch out into the universe and see what number I still am.
You
Maybe
just
I've
see
evolved.
Numeric signs everywhere?
Yeah, 4 just kept popping up. Like Neil Donald Walsh would say, those signs, they're your roadmap. Keep driving. So, what have you been up to?
I had a very cool week. I mentioned on our last podcast that I was planning to go to a drum circle, and I did, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
We're going to talk about that a little bit today. And I've also been re-listening to Wayne Dyer's Power of Intention audio, and there's amazing stuff on there. So I'm really enjoying re-familiarizing myself with that piece of work from him because it's good stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff.
I had a crazy dream last night / this morning.
Tell us.
It was good. So I had this dream. I'm in this, of course, house. It's never like the house you actually live in or any particular house, but it's this very nice house. 2-story. It feels like it's definitely out by the ocean or on the Cape or something like that. And either the moon is so beautiful, which it probably was because we had a mega moon.
The supermoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently. I'm on the deck and I run inside and go, oh my God, you gotta see this moon. And I literally just run off the deck, because of course you dream anything's possible, to go leap on the roof because it's kind of this L-shaped house. So the roof, you could jump to it from the deck.
Okay.
I thought you could. So I jump in this enthusiasm. And I realize I'm not going to make it.
Oh, no.
And as I'm falling in the dream, I'm having these ideas like, oh, I didn't make it. Oh, well.
Awesome.
I'm going to die.
Wait. So you're jumping from a deck to a roof, now you're going to die because you didn't make the roof?
Well, yeah, because now I'm just free falling to the ground. And it's a very high house. Maybe it's 3 stories. It's a very high house. Okay. So I'm falling, realizing I'm going to break my legs and maybe die. But I'm kind of falling in this weird shape. As if you were to dive, but if your feet were first. So in a very kind of plank position, stiff. And then also I'm kind of floating out, kind of like a kite. So my trajectory is diagonal down. And as I realize as I'm falling, oh wait, I'm not going to fall on the ground. I'm going to land right in the ocean. And I cannonball into the ocean.
Wow. That's amazing.
I was like, oh, great.
You did not die.
Hi. I missed the roof. All right, well, I landed in the ocean.
Yeah.
And then I just went back inside. I was like, dudes, I just
had this amazing adventure that turned out to be nothing.
What's the meaning of that?
Yeah, a lot of stuff came up for me, actually, about your dream. The first thing I like is that you had a dream like you were going to die. And a lot of times when we have dreams like that, we wake up like you're not allowed to die in your own dream or something, or you'd really die in real life, or some old wives' tale like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you turned it into a benign, fun, cannonballing into the ocean, I love that you didn't wake up in order to not die, that you actually changed your fate.
Yeah.
Mid-dream, even if it was not on purpose, if it was done by your subconscious or whatever. So that was great. The thing that came to me during your visualization of leaping to the roof and not making it reminded me of this training about goals. If you try to reach a goal by running and jumping to the top, that you'll never make it, and you'll just kind of hit your face against the wall because you can't jump that high from 0 to 60 all in one leap. Right. And so then you'll try again, and you'll reach for this really high goal, and you won't make it, but you'll try a little less each time because it's painful to try and make this big leap and then smack into the wall, not making it. If you turn that wall around and find there's actually a staircase on the other side, you can take a step-by-step approach to your goal and then reach it with no problem. So that's kind of the visual that came up, taking that huge leap onto the roof.
Well, what's so perfect about that?
Yeah.
Is my card.
Tell us.
A note from the universe card, tet.com, Mike Dooley. If you let me have my way with regard to how your dreams will come true, I'll let you have your way with absolutely everything else. Most fondly, the universe. And in the meantime, in case you're curious, there's little else you could do to maximize your efforts than moving in the general direction of your dreams. however small your steps. So yeah, because like in the dream it was like this enthusiastic like
Woohoo!
jump. There's nothing else to do but do that. Do it. And then it's like, oh, but now I'm falling. Well, now this is bad. Oh wait, not so bad.
Not
Can't
so
fall
bad.
into the ocean.
So kind of reinventing failure for me in the dream.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Hashtag that. Reinvent your failure. So share your top.com card with us.
I have to tell you, at first, when I read this card, I thought this card is wrong. Because if anybody knows me at all, they know that my favorite place to be is on stage. And they know my favorite thing to have in my hand is a mic. I'm even more excited when the mic is taped to my face, like really professional people have, so my hands are free to roam about
Jazz
the body
hands.
language.
Awesome.
Yes. So here's what it says. There are those scattered on every continent who are so compassionate and wise and loving that the depth of their character completely escapes those who are still relatively new to time and space. How do you deal with that? Incognito. The universe. It's just as well you'd bore of the paparazzi fast enough. And I thought, that sounds like the opposite. Is the universe trying to tell me something? But then I remembered the Abraham Hicks stuff that I listened to and watched. And I remembered one of the things that they said was, I think the question they were asked was, why weren't you guys part of The Secret? That big movie, book, audio, The Secret.
Oprah.
Everybody was talking about it. Why wasn't Abraham Hicks part of that conversation? They're kind of the original law of attraction of this era. And they said something really interesting, which was The Secret was kind of for entry-level law of attraction conversations. And we are on a pretty advanced level when it comes to how we discuss these principles. And so we want people to just find us.
I mean, they're super woo-woo.
Super woo-woo. Yeah, absolutely. So we want people to just happen upon us when they're ready for our message. And so it's perfect and on purpose that we were not part of that conversation because we really would prefer to be found than to be part of a conversation that might be a little over the heads of the people just finding us for the first time.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to be met with resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how I'm interpreting this card. Because, by the way, you can't keep me off the stage. I'm sorry, universe. In fact, I recently saw a video of myself from 1,000 lifetimes ago. And I shared it with you, in fact.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I observed something in the video.
Well, why don't you tell us what the video was first, before you throw that lie out to the world.
So, it's a video of Trista and at Andrew Langerman, RAs at SUNY New Paltz, and it's like a hall meeting. I mean, what year was that? 1991. Trista is fabulous. Short hair, the hair is blonde on top, and I mean, I thought I witnessed in the video, my eye caught a glimpse of some little braid at the back, maybe even like 2 braids meeting in the middle.
No.
Maybe it's just the way the color in your shirt hit your hair, but I thought for sure, and I was surprised that you would have.
So what you're accusing me of is that I had a tail, and not even when tails were cool, but in the 90s, when they were not cool. I mean, that is what you were accusing me of. Which, frankly, I'm offended by the implication. When I saw this video, I shared it with Andrew.
I mean, right, because it would have been like 1885, like 1985.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back. Back to the tape.
Back to videotape.
Rewind the tape.
And so I shared this video with Andrew because I didn't think he had seen it. And I want to just thank the person that shared it with me. Because instead of sharing it with me on her newsfeed and tagging me like most people would do, knowing that it was a long time ago and pretty much everybody portrayed in that video was embarrassing in some level to who they are now. So there is some embarrassing footage of me out there on YouTube.
And it's really not embarrassing. I mean, embarrassing would have been, I don't know. I mean, it's just of your age.
Right. It's not a sex tape or anything like that.
It's not,
Probably in 20 years, I'll think these were embarrassing.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, when you're 20, you were in your 20s, right?
I was.
I mean, look, any of us doing whatever we were doing in our 20s, I mean, it's pretty immature. I mean, it's such a young age still.
Yes, I was a junior in college.
Right.
Shout out to Boughton Hall.
Sweet.
Shout out to Residence Life, SUNY.
Sweet. So what do we want to bring to the peeps today?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about my drum circle experience. I had never done the drum circling thing before. I shared on our last podcast that how I came to find out about drumming and drum circles and all that sort of stuff was from a story I had read about a woman that used drumming to release grief. And I was thinking about that after we recorded, and I realized that the reason that was so appealing to me is that was back when I wasn't willing to talk about stuff, when I wasn't willing to use my voice to share my pain and vulnerability. And so it's funny to me now that I'm still attracted to drum circles and drumming, because that's so not who I am. But I got to go to this drum circle. It was done by Drumming with Hawklin. The head drummer is Lynn Martin, and it's her group. And it was kind of fun because I brought a friend with me, and I said, what are you doing tonight? She said, I'm not doing anything. I said, great, come with me to this drum circle. So we went together, and it was a lot of fun. And I ran into somebody there who I know through business networking circles, Chamber of Commerce circles and stuff. So it was great. There were a lot of people there. It was at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Poughkeepsie. They meet once a month and have been for years. So apparently I'm finally ready to receive the drum circle opportunity because I've been on Meetup for that long and it never came up before. So that's on purpose. I brought my own drum.
You own your own drum?
Yeah. When I read that article about the grief-stricken woman, I went out and got one at Alto Music.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. Oh, there's a guy. So the thing about the drum circle that I loved was that it was a lot about gratitude, a lot about healing. It was right before the supermoon. So there was a lot about healing energy. And so Lynn talked a lot about that. Not only in the beginning, she read a poem from Mary Oliver at the beginning to set the stage. Throughout the whole process, which was about an hour and a half, she just kept reminding us to be grateful and to send gratitude and love, and to think about the people that come to your mind to send love and healing to. Because the thing about drumming is that rhythmic beat has healing properties. Reduces anxiety, increases endorphins, can relieve stress, can relieve emotional trauma, which we talked about before, stays in your cells, and this releases it. But the other cool thing that I loved about it was the community. Because it's one thing to sit in your house or in the woods and drum alone. You can do that.
Right.
You could do that. But having this group of people all drumming the same beat together, at the end, she asked us each to go inside of ourselves and feel where the vibration was left in your body. And I'll tell you, for me, it was in my throat and in my chest, which is exactly where I would expect it to be based on all the work I've been doing and the voice and the speaking and all of the Reiki that I've been receiving and the energy healing. It all was very on purpose where I was feeling it. And not in my arm, which I expected because that's where I've been doing all the drumming. But just the consciousness of the group together drumming as a community was so much more powerful than doing it by yourself.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. It reminds me of a TED Talk that I listened to by Steve Johnson. He talks about, like, how do great ideas come to be? Where does creativity come from? What's great when you listen to his TED Talk is he shares how it seems to come from groups of people. And we think that there are these moments of epiphanies, which we've shared that term here, or, stroke of genius, or the light bulb, or a eureka moment. I had a flash and something becomes clear. And we think that's the moment that we had this moment of inspiration and this great idea came up.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah. And what he goes on to explain is that really that epiphany or flash is something that's more like a slow hunch, that you just didn't quite get your head all the way around, like your brain had been marinating on it for a while. And I say that a lot. When I think about something, I say, like, I need to marinate on it. Like, I need to let my brain soak it in, mull it over back there in the subconscious, and then see what it brews up, what it cooks up. And he was kind of saying the same thing. The slow hunch is that the brain is, like, working for a while until it can wrap its head around it, and then all of a sudden, in a complete sentence, that's the eureka moment. Oh, I've got it. I've thought it to its clarity, to its point, to its one sentence. He also said that these moments of epiphanies these hunches, this creativity, it grows from being with others. And he was kind of going backwards in time of like, the coffee houses are really where people sit and convene and talk.